I've often came across the Spanish feria during my spring visits to Andalusia in southern Spain. The Feria del Caballo in Jerez de la Frontera is a festival known to all Andalusian horse enthusiasts. This colorful 10-day event takes us into the world of southern Spanish traditions, combining local colors, flavors and music. Although the main attractions of those events are horses, in my camera in hand as a silent witness of those events, I always admire a local woman. Beautiful, elegant and confident, knowing how to celebrate. And all this, of course, combined with beautiful Spanish horses. This time I decided that if there was one thing I wanted to experience here, at first I would have to contact someone who had invited me to make my dream happen. I'm Kasia. I have dedicated half of my life traveling to the greatest locations to photograph one of the most beautiful horses. Through my journeys, I created award-winning photographs, met amazing stories, hosted many workshops worldwide, and experienced some amazing adventures. Now I want to take you along with me, showing behind-the-scene life of adventurous traveling horse photographer, not fearing the unknown and discovering truth of many meanings. If you are ready to join, welcome to my world. Visiting Spain many times, I observed this event as a photographer. The truly cinematic scenery here, full of colors, shapes and beautiful dressed people and horses, is definitely an attractive subject for photographers. Once at one of Jerez ferias, I finally met a great horseman and a rider in person. Romain Lagarrue is someone who works with horses with incredible aura and gentleness, teaching them elements of the Spanish riding school and liberty work. His extraordinary kindness, sensitivity in working with horses, and attention to every detail made him the person I wanted to fulfill my little Spanish dream with, actively participating in Spanish feria. The first challenge? The flamenco dress. It's probably the most iconic piece of clothing worn by women in Andalusia during the local events. Choosing from the countless patterns, styles, sizes and colors is dizzying and, for me, not an easy task. Fortunately, the owners of the Moda flamenca Esperanza store in the heart of Jerez de la Frontera came with the help. Dress and me are the combination that rarely happens, so I felt a little bit lost in this world. Trying one after another, I finally chose the one. Beautiful dress with the traditional large dots in the less traditional turquoise color, which caught my attention from the very beginning. But that wasn't the end. It was the time for a whole bunch of accessories, the selection of which is equally important. Choosing from all the scarves, earrings, hair flowers, we finally made a perfect outfit for my first proper participation in feria. My next stop? Hair and makeup. I'm one of those people who doesn't wear makeup daily, and I like when my hair is simply blown by the wind. Putting myself in the hands of the professionals seemed like the right thing to do. To look better? Well, elegant. However, I admit that during the entire process of making my hair, nails and makeup, I started to feel a bit uncomfortable. Is it really necessary to smooth every single hair and put tons of cosmetics into ourselves to feel good, prettier, more attractive? And so in my head I started to question what I was doing to myself. Sometimes we change ourselves quite drastically to be appreciated or admired by others. But do we really need this approval to feel good about ourselves? Why do we condition our self-esteem so much? Why do women constantly try to change things in their appearance? To feel beautiful? But we are beautiful just the way we are. And no fashion, no trends or social standards should have any influence on that feeling. Apparently, experience like this maybe would not make me love myself more right away, but are there to make me feel even more convinced what is mine and what is not. Walking out to the Feria venue began to build up the tension between me. While waiting for my rider, I did what most people do when arriving to the celebration. I tried a sherry, the production of which the city is famous for. Fortunately, the moment I stood next to our today's hero, the stallion Cameron, all my stress melted away. There is no secret that the presence of horses is calming. Their gentleness and delicate energy quickly connects with our nervous system and calms many tensions in our body. Nowadays, Feria de Jerez is celebrated in Parque González, Ontoria, where people with their horses are arriving from all Andalusia. The origin of this feria goes back to 13th century, where farmers gathered here for 1 week could sell and buy animals, usually drinking to celebrate the deals. What's important? That this feria is also a celebration of purebred Spanish horses, so at the same time, exhibitions, competitions and show of horses of this breed are held just a few blocks away, in Royal Andalusian School of Christian Art. Most riders here are men. Whenever, often you can notice a seat behind their saddle, intended for the chosen one. On this special designed path, a woman in a dress, sitting sideways, can keep company a rider during this event. Spectacular horses, riders dressed in traditional costumes and women in colorful ruffled dresses arouse admiration among visitors of this place. Even I felt very special, as if I had been taken to another fairy tale, where everything was as beautiful as in a movie. A characteristic feature of this event are casetas, which are stands or bars, staged by various stables or organizations. What's the best actually, that you can ride to each of them on a horseback to drink local drinks from the ridge and being served on the horse. Everyone comes to these ferias for different reasons. Some are driven by curiosity as a tourists, while others want to show off their riding skills, meet with the friends, to train young horses for new challengers, or others want to earn money by driving tourists in carriages. And me? I came here to fulfill one dream in particular, to try a flamenco dance. Many of these casetas are filled with music and people in beautiful costumes dancing the Sevillana dance. I decided to join the crowd even though my inner introvert was suffering a lot. Finding my way around a crowd is one thing, but connecting with complete strangers without speaking the local language was a bit of challenge. I'm actually a very shy person, and I don't feel comfortable talking to the strangers or drawing attention to myself. Fortunately, this day run on the sherry made it easier to overcome my own barriers. When a tourist who had once learned the dance herself invited me to a talk and eventually to dance. Sevillana is a type of flamenco from this part of the country. It's not an easy dance because it doesn't rely on constant repeating steps, but on a complex story framed on the 4 chapters. Each chapter has its own symbolism, relating to the meeting of two people who begin with polite dialogue, then develop a closer relationship, then argue, and finally forgive each other and reconcile. This is a very beautiful story about interpersonal relationship, regardless of age, gender, nationality, or social role. My complete lack of dancing skills didn't capture the true beauty of this dance, but in the end, it made me smile and I had a great time when another little dream came true. Watching the crowds of women swirling in the music, surrendering in the spectrum of their emotions in this incredibly emotional dance, I gazed at them mesmerized, thinking about how each of them is truly beautiful through the uniqueness of their experiences and the values they proudly stand for. And one question came to my mind. Do each of us really need clothes, makeup, and perfect style hair to feel beautiful? We live in a world of stereotypes and expectations driven by the current fashion. We chase beauty standards, changing our appearance more and more frequently and drastically. We spend more time beautifying ourselves externally than nourishing our inner beauty. It's not a beautiful dress, heels, perfect hairstyle or makeup that reflects femininity. Femininity is a delicacy, authenticity and love for the world, but also for ourselves. Femininity is hard work on the path to acceptance and self-embrace, being gentle with ourselves. So maybe instead of spending most of our precious hours caring of what's outside, why not to take a better care of what's inside and devote more time to seeking self-love? Because self-love, ladies, doesn't mean to be arrogant or full of pride. I believe that finding self-love will allow us to find more love for the world around us.